Hyundai i30N, VW GTI and Ford Focus ST in hot hatch shootout. The hot hatch formula seems simple enough: fit a powerful engine to a small car. However, getting the ingredients to work well together, the suspension, brakes and steering, is still a black art. Volkswagen's GTI has been the benchmark hot hatch for years, while Ford has a history of great hot hatches, including the Focus Street. Hyundai, on the other hand, has taken decades to produce its first real hot hatch, the i30N. Time to see if it was worth the wait. All three cars are priced just $1,000 apart, proving there is plenty of bang for your buck in the low $40,000 bracket. Ford Focus ST. Starting at $43,000 drive away. This generation Focus ST was introduced in 2012 and was updated in 2015. A new model is due within the next 2 years. It has a throaty 2.0-liter turbo engine with loads of character and plenty of oomph, a 6-speed manual gearbox, sticky tires, big brakes and Recaro sports seats. Inside, most mod cons are covered: a digital speed display, a large touchscreen with built-in navigation, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, dual-zone air conditioning and a sensor key with push-button start. It also has the cheapest routine service costs over 3 years, using the national average distance traveled of 15,000 kilometers as a guide. However, the Focus ST pulls up short on safety. 6 airbags, tire pressure monitors and a rear camera are standard, but auto emergency braking, standard on the other 2, is bundled with lane keeping assistance, blind spot warning and rear cross traffic alert for $2,000. On the road, the ST's suspension is taut, even on seemingly smooth roads, but it's not bone-jarring. The steering is well weighted, the grip from the Goodyear F1 tires is superb and the brakes have a precise feel. However, in tight turns you can feel the steering wheel start to wriggle as the front tires scramble over bumps, despite Ford's electronic torque steer compensation working in the background in lieu of a mechanical limited slip differential. The gear shift action feels smooth and direct, although the clutch was a bit grumpy on our test car, possibly due to a hard life as an evaluation vehicle. The ST is still a highly capable vehicle that delights the senses with its gutsy sound, ample grip and plenty of go. Hyundai i30N. As with the others, Hyundai has shoehorned a turbo 2.0-liter under the bonnet, the most powerful among this trio, and paired it to a 6-speed manual driving the front wheels. Inside, the i30N's origins are immediately apparent. Aside from the chunky steering wheel with blue buttons that switch driving modes, and front seats with bigger side bolsters, this looks like the $20,000 version, not $44,000 worth. Despite being the dearest here, the cabin is dominated by cheap-looking plastics. This grade doesn't even get a push-button start. At least the instrument panel has a sporting flavor with LEDs around the rev counter and shift warning lights, apparently inspired by BMW M cars. Standard safety equipment includes 7 airbags, automatic emergency braking, lane keeping assistance, tire pressure monitors and a rear camera. The central touchscreen has a custom menu to individually change the settings for the steering, suspension, exhaust, throttle response, stability control and differential. In Sport Plus mode the ride is too harsh for the daily commute, but normal is livable. The grip from the Pirelli P0 tires, the same type used on Ferraris and Porsches, is astounding when combined with a mechanical limited slip diff that claws its way out of corners. On the limit in tight turns it carries so much speed you can feel the rear get a touch light. The engine has plenty of grunt, but it is the thirstiest here. Enthusiasts will love the exhaust crackle between gear changes in sport mode. The brakes, the biggest among this trio, are effective, but they lacked the precise feel of the other 2 cars. My least favorite aspect was the heavy and uneven steering feel, regardless of what mode you're in, which is noticeable whether changing lanes or unwinding from a turn. Of the 3, though it has more of the go-fast gadgets and adjustability that enthusiasts will enjoy. VW Golf GTI. The Golf GTI invented the hot hatch formula 40 years ago and has perfected it ever since. This 7th generation GTI went on sale in 2013 and was updated last year with the rest of the Golf 7.5 range that brought more tech and more power. Inside, the GTI could be mistaken for a luxury car in this company, despite being the cheapest here, at $42,990 drive away. The sports seats with tartan fabric, glossy highlights in the dash and doors, large high-resolution touchscreen, sports steering wheel and classy instrument display make the Golf look and feel a cut above the others. Standard safety includes 7 airbags, automatic emergency braking, a rear camera, and front and rear sensors. A $1,600 option pack adds radar cruise control, lane keeping assistance, blind spot warning, and rear cross-traffic alert. The GTI may have less power than the other pair, but it's not apparent behind the wheel. There is a slight delay in power delivery below 2,500 revolutions per minute, but once the needle passes that point the Golf's turbo 2.0-liter revs freely and quickly. We matched the acceleration claims for the VW and Ford, 6.4 and 6.5 seconds respectively, but we couldn't quite match Hyundai's 0 to 100 km/h claim of 6.2 seconds. The best we could get out of the Hyundai, with or without launch control, was 6.4 seconds. Translated, you can throw a blanket over the acceleration of these cars. On city and suburban roads, the GTI has by far the most comfortable suspension, in any one of 3 modes, and it holds its own in long sweeping corners. However, when pushed to the limit in tight turns, the Golf GTI can't match the Hyundai's tire grip and differential traction out of corners. Verdict: the Focus ST makes the right noises and is a blast to drive, but is dearer than the others once it's brought up to speed on safety. The Hyundai i30N is a solid first effort with more gadgets, more grip and better traction out of tight turns than the other pair, but it would benefit from further refinement to steering and suspension. Hot hatches are dual-purpose cars, and the Golf GTI remains the world's most civilized hot hatch, with the best blend of performance, luxury and comfort. As the cheapest here, it's also a relative bargain.